Good morning, Peter.
Good morning. Good morning, Northwest Oracle community. Today is the inaugural Tech Byte webcast series for the Northwest Oracle community. I'm proud to present New Brunswick Community College's case study, the Oracle Autonomous DB26ai Advantage, a PeopleSoft total cost of ownership transformation. I'm also proud to present with my partner in success, Noble Murnell. He's an Oracle ACE and Director of Oracle Technologies at SmackWorks. My name is Peter Katrubis. I'm also an Oracle ACE and Executive Vice President of Operations for SmackWorks. The agenda for this discussion is going to start with a quick corporate overview. Then we're going to look at the New Brunswick Community College's case study in relation to the database in PeopleSoft. We're going to examine the business challenges. Then Nilopal's going to walk us through the technical aspects of the Oracle Database 19C to 23AI and ultimately what became the 26AI database underlying PeopleSoft for New Brunswick Community Colleges. Lastly, we'll examine the business benefits that were resulted from that upgrade, and we'll have some concluding thoughts. SmackWorks was founded in 2013 as a pure-play Oracle Cloud consultancy and PeopleSoft consultancy. We're headquartered out of Dublin, Ohio. We're proud to boast over 150 of our own directly employed Oracle specialized resources today. And we also maintain an Oracle Center of Excellence and Innovation in our corporate office in Dublin, Ohio. We are an Oracle certified partner and certified for implementations, certified for application managed services support. And then we're also an ISO 9001 and 27001 company, which just reflects our commitment to process and creating a process around everything we do from a managed project or in a managed services perspective, which ensures consistency and success and also drives down costs for our customers. We're an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company the last 4 years in a row. And we're also a Columbus Top Fast 50 company and an MBE and an SBA certified organization. Our guiding principles are excellence, integrity, and growth. Our focus on technology is cloud first, but I have 28 years in PeopleSoft and Lopal has over 20 years in PeopleSoft. So we still maintain Oracle PeopleSoft services, both for projects and for managed services. We also support Oracle eBusiness, and then across the board with Oracle Tech Stack. Now, New Brunswick Community Colleges is a public institution located in New Brunswick, Canada. They have 6 campuses, including Moncton, Miramichi, Fredericton, St. John, St. Andrews, and Woodstock. The headquarters is in Fredericton in New Brunswick, and today they serve over 12,000 students, both for traditional degrees and also with professional certifications. Their technology footprint includes PeopleSoft Campus Solutions with OCI and Oracle Database underneath. And today they've transitioned from PeopleSoft Financials to PeopleSoft ERP Cloud and also from PeopleSoft HCM to Oracle Fusion HCM. The business challenges that they were encountering at the point in which we engaged with New Brunswick Community Colleges was they had a highly manual database effort, meaning all of the patching and tuning and backups for the database were very time-consuming, labor-intensive. They had frequent downtimes as a result, and a lot of that operational work was really a bog on their internal resources and then affected the performance of the applications. As a result, again, they had performance bottlenecks during peak times of workload. If you're in higher education or with any organization, you'll find with times of admissions or registration or financial aid, other organizations have other business drivers that would cause these peak times of workload on the system. And you can identify with this from that perspective. They also had capacity planning issues. We found that they're over provisioning in order to account for peak times of performance, which again, ultimately, as we examine the business benefits of the upgrades to 26AI, you'll see how that was, driving up cost where the upgrade to 26AI is going to ultimately be cost savings. They had some compliance issues and security gaps with manual patching cycles. Often we talk about, the need for discipline, not only the kind of the intent to keep up with security patches and updating of the systems, but there also has to be a discipline and a process put in place. Some of that goes out the window when you have the ability to have an automated system that's taking care of a lot of that stuff behind the scenes without manual effort. Also, a lot of the IT staff's effort was, I guess, distracted from innovation or even clearing up their minds to focus on new innovative things for the university or the college, because they were so focused on routine maintenance of their systems. And then they had an outdated PeopleSoft 9.2 campus solution system, which was on, PUM 27 and an outdated version of People Tools. So there were quite a few business challenges there. And as we go through this, we'll examine how those things have been updated and their entire ecosystem has been modernized. So the strategic goals of the project here are to reduce the total cost of ownership by 40% without sacrificing performance. Again, well, I'll back up a little bit. That when the local and I took over the support and management of New Brunswick Community College's PeopleSoft systems, they had gone to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure 3 years prior to engaging with us. And we had taken over the application managed services for New Brunswick and PeopleSoft through competitive bid. So it was a competitive bid project. We came out on top, and it was handed over to us. It became clear to us in the transition of taking over managed services for them that their database was outdated, the application was outdated. And again, when we talk about application for PeopleSoft, we talk about PUM images, and then we talk about database, and then we talk about people tools. So we're pretty surprised to see several things. Again, the PeopleSoft ecosystem had a lot of updating that was required or could be put in place. We also saw that they had not implemented PeopleSoft Cloud Manager, and we saw that the database on 19C, while Oracle had extended support for that, it was looming that sometime in the future, in the subsequent years, that was going to require an update, or it was going to go outside of premium support. So we decided and encouraged New Brunswick to move forward with some upgrades, and that's where the database upgrade came into play. As a part of that, we outlined some strategic goals in partnership with New Brunswick based on our suggestions. And the primary one, again, was to improve the total cost of ownership. And we set a goal of 40%, again, with the caveat of not sacrificing any performance. We wanted to improve response time for faster student services. When it comes to campus solutions, your customer population are your students. So anytime you can improve performance there and the response time for the students and their interaction with campus solutions, that's a win. Also, to free up IT resources from maintenance to innovation. So as we focused on improving their systems and updating their systems, implementation or upgrade of the database to the autonomous database was certainly intended to free up their resources from focusing on just maintaining the system and allow them to start thinking forward about how they could improve their customer service or their student experience. So also strengthen security and compliance through automation, as we'll examine the features of the 26AI database or the security is happening behind the scenes. Then enable AI-driven services on student data to facilitate the student hub chatbot. Again, that's future forward thinking. We'll examine that at the end as the innovation that's enabled by the 26ai database and the features of AI that go along with it. Also, part of that was to upgrade their people tools to 8.62 and to a more current PUM image in 35. And then lastly, to implement the Oracle Cloud Manager for PeopleSoft. So the implementation timeline was to start with an assessment. We think all good projects start with an assessment, getting a good baseline of what your systems are, creating test plans, and having all these things in place before you start your project, whether it's an upgrade or an implementation or whatnot. In this case, again, it was doing an inventory of all their technical assets related to their Oracle PeopleSoft ecosystem, creating that baseline and creating all the test plans associated with where they were from a baseline perspective so that we could test everything once we upgraded, and then actually get true performance markers in what type of improvements was achieved. To start with, we started on a simple export and import migration to migrate to the Autonomous 23ai database with zero service disruption. Then created parallel databases and cut over from the prior database on 19C to 23ai. So the logical online migration was our approach, using data pump to replicate the data between 19C and 23ai. Alternatively, to achieve a zero downtime migration in name, you would require a license for Oracle Golden Gate plus data pump. But again, we didn't have that license at our disposal, so we chose to take a different approach, which accomplished the same thing. So there are other ways to do it, and we're happy to talk to you about that. So the optimization and upgrade, again, as a part of this, once we focused to start with on the autonomous database upgrade, there was a lot of performance tuning and testing. Nolopo's going to cover some of that related to the PeopleSoft systems once you upgrade. The entire upgrade process took technically 4 months for the database portion of it and some other things. And then the 2-month period was focused on the performance tuning and really optimizing the system. And again, across all this, we were able to achieve zero downtime.
Thank you, Peter. So I will talk about the architecture and also a couple of things that you just mentioned about geo downtime, and also how customer was not aware of autonomous database when we talked to them about it, and there was some apprehension to move from the existing DB systems, DB cloud system, to autonomous database. So we had to do some kind of proof of concept to them, and then showcase them the ability of autonomous database, and then move them pillar by pillar instead of doing a big bang approach. So that's why we took 6 months, but for a typical implementation, 3 to 4 months is an ideal window for production systems. So we chose autonomous transaction processing, ATP flavor of autonomous database. There is data warehouse as well. It's a fully managed self-scaling database. You do not need to procure any separate hardware for it. And we also worked on, because it's different than a traditional database, you have to modify a few of your connectivity entries, like we have to adopt the concept of wallet. And if you have your third-party applications which rely on TNS connectivity, you have to ensure that they are supported and they can connect to your autonomous database once you do the migration. Similarly, we had to change few of the parameters in application engine, which was written earlier based on the on-prem database version, and few things doesn't work. So we have to do those retrofits in the people code and sequels. Then once we migrate to autonomous database, it also enables us to leverage built-in machine learning, vector search, select AI And there are few things that we are working on with NBCC. We are working on some of the student chatbot, and we are using the private agent factory. So we'll talk about it once we go through the subsequent slides. And one of the challenges that NBCC had was frequent backup failures, the redo log space getting filled. Sometimes the backup storage getting filled. So with ADB, everything came to object storage, and that was one of the pain point for customer, that backups were not reliable, they were failing, and there was frequent outages to production due to different backup failures. We once we adopted ADB, the backups goes to object storage and is always elastic, so we are not facing any such issues after the migration. Uh, Campus Solution 9.2 for NBCC, the modules are admissions, financial aid, student financials, academic advising, and student records. So these modules are in use, and after migrating to ADB, we have heard only good things about performance, how is scaling up to the load when there is a batch processing happening. Earlier, we will have to uh, either manage the load by putting on hold the other processes and run some of the big processes, but now everything runs concurrently. Some of the key performance improvements that we have seen is 50% faster financial aid processing. So it has reduced the follow-up time, and it has improved the cash flow as well. Then we have also enabled real-time degree audits. So behind the scene, it's a PS query that's being run, and advisors get instant degree progress in seconds. Self-service portals have been more responsive because it's taking less SQL fetch time. So the students can access to schedules, billing, aid status, everything is having a better performance. And even for reporting, as I said earlier, for admissions and enrollment reporting is taking a lot less time compared to how it was on the regular database. So some of the key performance improvements from an AMS perspective, we have reduced up to 55 to 60% of routine database administration. We are not spending any time in doing backups, doing restores, or monitoring the uh, database, like for any bottleneck, doing patching for the database, or doing the indexing or re-indexing of database, because all these have been taken care by Oracle itself, and your database is always in pink of health. So you do not have to worry about that. Also, you do not have to worry about additional load that keeps coming, because it is elastic in nature. So if there's more load, it scales the compute accordingly, and then after the work has been performed, it lowers it down. Similarly, if we have to create a new database, earlier it used to take days. Now it takes like hours, like within an hour or so, you can provision a new database. If required, you can clone from production, or you can clone from any other non-production environment, and it takes like an hour or so. Uh, as I said earlier, so we have eliminated most of the schedule maintenance activities. So it directly reduces the effort that you put towards any of the ASM activities. And since we have gone live, actually this is 100%, because we didn't have any outage since we have gone live to ADB in January of 2026, and it is July right now, and NBCC has not seen a single outage due to database, or for any other region. We have not seen any outage. Whereas prior to that, when Peter and I, we took this project. the maintenance support and maintenance project for NBCC. It was a regular occurrence, like every other month or so. Production will be down for some issue related to database. So that's a big improvement. 70% reduction in database related incidents and SEF1 operational events. Again, we are being modest here. As of now, based on data, that's 100%. We have not seen a single issue coming from database related incidents. Also, mean time to recover is has improved significantly due to automated recovery and consistent configuration. So are we are not going to see any unexpected issues when we are doing a restore or when we are uh, doing a backup, because everything is configuration driven and everything is on the OCI network. So all of those things are in place and they are checks and balances. So we do not see any unexpected issues. Again, we talked about the performance of the database. Again, it boils down to how database configuration is, how much indexing, how many times the stats have been run, and we are not people dependent. All these are driven by configuration, and it has been set up in the database, so it keeps running in the background for you. So the health of database is always good, and that helps with improving the database performance. Also, one of the most important thing that has happened is improved cost predictability. So now customer exactly knows how much they are paying for the performance they are getting. One of the beauty of ADB is that you start small, and it can scale up to 3x the amount of compute you start with during the peak load, and that saves a lot of compute cost for customer. Uh, this screen is about showing how the backups get created, and as you can see, it's on a daily basis. You can have all the dashboard, so you do not need to be a DBA to know whether the backup has run or not. What's the status of the backup? Even if you're an IT manager or a database manager or even a business analyst and you want to know whether the database backup has been taken or not, you can come to this data dashboard and you can see the history of backups. When was the last backup taken? What is the health of the backup? When the backup is started? How long did it take to complete the backup? You can have all those inventory available to you, and you can slice the data as you need. So this is another performance dashboard, a screen print from Autonomous Database landing page. And in this one, I would like to talk about like the scaling. So if you can see, there's a green and there's a light yellow. So green is your CPU usage and yellow is your weight. So the moment Autonomous Database sees that there is a request and the request is waiting for compute to be free, so there's a wait. What it does, it sends a signal to the compute to increase the compute. So once there's a load peak happens, that's the trigger where compute scales itself to 2x, 3x, whatever is required to get the work done. And the moment you see that the wait time is getting over, then the compute lowers it down and comes to the defined number that you have set up for your compute. So you get only you get the compute elasticity only when there's a real peak happening or there's a real load happening on your database, and that lowers down your cost significantly. So that's something that I tried to highlight here in this screenshot. Some of the key performance improvements for NBCC due to the changes. In 1 year, the cost saving estimate is close to 240K, and there is a one-time implementation cost. We anticipate that in 3 to 5 years, they will have a savings somewhere between 1 million to 1.55 million. Plus, they will also have the platform to enable many AI-driven solutions for databases as well as student success. Right now, if you can see, they were having a 19C database. Now they are on 26 AI database. So that itself is an improvement and an upgrade. So the implementation cost also saves them on an upgrade. And they were provisioned like a block, like how you provision a database for production with high compute, high storage. So we lowered it down. So now they are paying a fraction of the infrastructure cost that they were doing earlier. This is snapshot like how it was earlier and how it is on ADB. If you can see, NBCC was provisioned with 8 OCPU, which is equivalent to 32 eCPU, and 120 gigabyte of memory and 1.4 terabyte of storage for the production database. Now they are provisioned on only 0.75 OCPU, which is a significant reduction. That's equal to 3 eCPU and 500 gigabyte of memory, storage. And we have done the auto scaling at 3x times, so which is equal to how it was provisioned earlier. So in peak load, NBCC production system will cater to everything that the previous system was doing, but now for most of the time, it will run on a very light infrastructure footprint. So another performance improvement that we saw was regarding NBCC security. So uh, now the ADB data is patched continuously. The underlying infrastructure is also patched continuously. And as a support team, NBCC doesn't have to worry about patching the Linux infrastructure, patching the database, applying the CPU, doing the point patch upgrade, all that been taken care, and with Oracle's SLA. So you are always current and you're always having the latest patch applied. So it helps a lot with security and compliance posture. And the another improvement that we get free of cost with ADB is data safe features. Data safe lets you work with different type of security posture, be it data security, be it user security. We will see in the next slide how it works, but there's a lot of things that you can do, and there are a lot of delivered templates from Oracle that you can leverage for your environment. And right now at NBCC, we are working on masking the data, masking those key fields using data safe features. So this is the data safe dashboard where you can see you have security assessment. It gives you your risk summary, like uh, it's defined at risk level high, medium, low, and then also target databases, like so you can have all your databases are plugged into this. So like your all your non-production, production, and you can see what type of vulnerability you have in those databases, and it has different pillars, as you can say, user account. Is it due to user accounts or and roles, or is fine-grained access control, or is it database configuration? So it does a end-to-end security assessment of your database. And you can also see there is a data masking activity going on. So it tells you based on your setup, like in our case, it's PeopleSoft Campus solution. But if someone is having a PeopleSoft HCM, it has different templates for those different modules, like what are the fields which are having sensitive data, which is having PII, and they have given template that you can leverage and you can start masking those fields. Or you also have the ability to create your own custom template for data masking, and then it will help you do the masking for those custom templates.
So,
Uh,
Nolopo, if I can interject quickly, you may have noted, you, our audience, on the previous slide that Nolopo and I made a note that, one of the intangibles when we look at the cost improvement, or again, the improvement in total cost of ownership of PeopleSoft here with the 26AI database, is that in our experience over many decades with PeopleSoft, is that those type of security vulnerability assessments would often or most likely be handled as separate projects. Those are the type of projects people would engage us to do for them, or they'd be doing internally. So not a part of our analysis on cost savings would be the cost of doing those special projects. And as Nilopal very eloquently expressed over the last couple slides, specifically in the security and the data safe features, that's happening automatically here. And then again, as he mentioned here on this slide, there's these templates, which both you can use the templates that are provided or create custom templates. We do a lot of work in healthcare, even outside of higher education. So when you get into healthcare environments and HIPAA requirements, you could create your own templates for the electronic medical records and additional considerations where that security even becomes more complicated. Thank you, Nalopo.
Thank you, Peter. These are some of the performance improvement that we noticed at NBCC. We were spending a lot of time on maintenance activity. Now it is automated, and there are firefighting issues. Every month we will have some issue where production is down. We are trying to figure out why it's down, and we are always trying to do a root cause analysis and triage. Now we are not facing those issues, and we are spending those time into enabling NBCC for, say, value adds, like what we can do as an improvement to the system, how we can ensure that the AMS is going smoothly, how we are bringing in AI features into our um, database and application landscape. So we are spending the time, but not on firefighting the issues. Uh, Now we have robust analytics solutions and dashboards. You have seen a couple of them, and there are many more that we, as well as our customer NBCC, we use every week when we meet on our weekly meetings. We go through those analytics. We see where the cost is coming from. We see where our efforts are going towards which activity. So there's a lot of advanced analytics that's available due to ADB, and also through Cloud Manager and few other things that we have implemented. Uh, we didn't have the capability to innovate, but now we are working through AI-driven services. Now we are using Select AI, and we are also working through private agent factory that we'll talk about in subsequent slides, how we have created a student chatbot, and we are working through that solution right now. It's not in production yet, but we are pretty close for the go live. And again, this comes free of cost through ADB. You do not have to go and procure or license private agent factory. You just need a server to host it, and then you start building your solution. Also, in this case, the data is not getting shipped to an external LLM. It's residing in your database. So from a data compliance perspective also, for customer like NBCC and others, it's a very practical and acceptable solution. We already talked about ROI based on reduction in TCO. So that's the same thing. So for future roadmap, as I talked about, we have AI-driven student success. So we will deploy AI services like advising chatbots, personalized course recommendation, retention alerts. We also have institutional research dashboards, predictive modeling. So these are some of the analytics hub that we are building towards. And we, as I talked about, like higher ed is always about data governance. So we are working with those data governance boundaries established by NBCC, and ADB helps us to have that because the data stays in already approved framework. So we do not have to worry about how we can ship the data to LLM, external LLMs, and bring it back and things like that. Strategic value for higher education. Why this matters? Because I mean, there's a recent trend in higher ed that there's always an ask for reducing the support cost, reducing the uh, total cost of ownership. So adopting ADB reduces your TCO by 40 to 50% at least, and you start seeing the ROI from day one of implementation. You don't have to wait for like 6 months or 1 year to realize the value. And also it's a risk-free migration, so it's a zero downtime. So you do not have to um, get around your day-to-day business. All these migration happens out of the place. So you create the database, you migrate the data, and once it's ready, you flip the switch, and then the new database comes into place. So you do not have to worry about going around your day-to-day operation disruption. Then we have AI is part of the autonomous database where you can do predictive analytics, you can build a student success chatbot, and many more things that you can do. You can do your lake house. You do not have to go and, if you are using data warehousing, you do not have to go and ship your data to a different lake house. ADB has its own lake house, and that can be used as well. So yeah, these are some of the key values of adopting ADB for any customer. So as I talked about data lake, that's one of the future requirement we have at NBCC to establish a dedicated production clone so that we can expose that data to be consumed by third-party systems and other Oracle application. And also, it will act as the database for analytics and reporting. And that's something we are currently discussing and working on a solution. We are conducting discovery to evaluate the feasibility of data lake. We already have started with creating a data lake for this purpose and see how autonomous data lake uh, will help achieve this for NBCC. Uh, as I said earlier, so we are working on a student success chatbot, and and we are leveraging the database private agent factory. This is the dashboard of database private agent factory. We have a blog as well on how to do the install of it, what all it takes to come to get this landing. Once you have this agent factory uh, installed, you configure it, you plug it in with your ADB database, you create agents. You can have some of the pre-built agents that given by Oracle is knowledge agent, data analysis agent, but you can create your own agents. You can clone these, and you can either clone and customize, or you can create your own agents. There's an agent builder as well, and you can also have a complete workflow of agents, like multiple agents defined in a workflow, and you can have a set of transactions that happen through those defined workflow. So yeah, there are many things that you can do here. Um,
And this is a low code, no code type of drag and drop interface, where anybody could go in and utilize that.
yes.
So I think it's pretty powerful. It's something that's newer in the last, when we count back to 10 months, with 26ai database release since October of last year. It's very powerful, something that we're really excited about, and really is key critical to some of the innovation that we're looking at MBCC.
Yes, I agree completely, Peter. As you said, it's a very low code or no code kind of system, where most of the things are either configuration based or drag and drop. So yeah, that's a key thing compared to some other chatbot that we work on, where you have to write a lot of APIs and connect to the LLMs and things like that. So it's very different in that regards. Um, this is one of the chatbot snippet where uh, we have asked a question in natural language: which instruction mode is most popular? And then you get the answer from chatbot saying the most popular instruction is P. So even you are getting the answer in natural language, which anyone can understand. You do not have to be a technical person to understand, and that's what NBCC is looking for, to have more natural language question and answer delivered, so that it helps the students who gets onboarded on the campus. So we are working through this chatbot and a student success framework for NBCC, and we are utilizing a lot of Select AI as well as Private Agent Factory for that. This is a customer testimonial from Simon Collier, who is director of IT at NBCC, and this is his words. Oracle Autonomous AI Database has helped us reduce routine administrative effort while improving consistency and reliability across our database environment. The automation gives our team more time to focus on improving services rather than maintaining infrastructure. So it's something really great coming from a customer himself, and realizing the value of this migration. Uh, Peter, you want to
Yeah,
add
I want to
anything
add
here?
that this was recently published as a customer success story. So you may come across this out there, or you can go find it. We probably should have maybe created a link here, but this is something that even Oracle's recognizing as a big success story, and something they've published recently, as a customer success story. We'll also add that this project and another project related to Cloud Manager also resulted in New Brunswick Community Colleges being awarded a PeopleSoft Innovation Award, and also SmackWorks, NLOPL, and INR organization being awarded a System Integrator Partner Innovation Award for PeopleSoft. So we're very proud of it. Customers very excited. And when we get to concluding thoughts, I'll add some more, NLOPL.
Thank you. So this is the journey of modernizing PeopleSoft, and we always tell customer that if you're staying on PeopleSoft, it's better to be on the modern infrastructure and adopt all the latest and greatest. So when you are doing a compare with whether to stay with PeopleSoft or not, you will make an educated guess. Instead of just thinking other solution is better than PeopleSoft, and PeopleSoft is not working as expected. Uh, Most of the time, we find that PeopleSoft customers are not leveraging all the features or all the good things that's there in PeopleSoft with the latest People Tools version, with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, infrastructure hosting. So there's so many things, and adopting to the pump images that keeps coming. So we always recommend our customer to modernize PeopleSoft first, see the benefits, see if there's anything that's missing that wants you to move to a different platform. And if you have modern PeopleSoft, then you can do a better compare with other softwares, other available products. So we always want us to be on the latest database. So there's no point in staying on a legacy database system anymore. There are different flavors of autonomous database, whether you go serverless installation, or you go to a dedicated autonomous database based on your requirement. And then this definitely lowers down at least half your current cost of managing databases. And once you go to 26 AI, then you can also think about adopting different features of ADB, like data safe, so it takes care of your security and compliance posture. And you can start thinking about enabling AI related features, like you can have a chat bot, or you can just have a document repository, or you can work on data lake house. There are so many things that you can think of. But what it also gives you from day one is improved operations and increased efficiency and agility, and cost savings. So there are few of those things that you get from day one after doing the migration. And it also is one of the aspect of modernizing your PeopleSoft landscape. There's other things that will come along with autonomous database, will be like, are you using Cloud Manager? Are you on the latest people tools? Are you having a cadence of applying CPU patches to your PeopleSoft environment? So there are many things that you can talk about. Uh, Peter?
So again, when we look at kind of this back up and look at this from a big picture perspective, you can achieve modernization without disruption to your operating systems or operational systems. You can achieve significant return on investment, and then enable these AI-driven student initiatives. Um, the performance improvements alone that we've achieved here, you got to look at that as cost savings. Again, improving the customer experience, which in this case is the students, and then their interaction with PeopleSoft Campus Solutions can never be discounted. Then when you look at internally, the reduction in the maintenance of the internal staff with patching and updating the system. Also the fact that some things that would be extra projects focused on security now become automatic, are kind of some of the intangibles and some of the things that we haven't even been factored into this total cost of ownership improvement. Query response time being improved by 60% for complex queries. End user satisfaction, improvement of morale of staff, both from business user perspective and IT staff, can never be discounted. So there's a lot of intangibles here. When we look at PeopleSoft specifically and the AI features of the Oracle Autonomous 26ai database, there's some features with PeopleSoft that have been deprecated in terms of Picasso, and some specific AI features that are no longer, they're still available, but again have moved out of support. Now you've got 26ai database to kind of step in and fill those shoes with the private agent factory and the capabilities to build these student chatbots. Some of the things we're also looking at are building a academic advising type functionality based on the AI capabilities of the 26ai database, which will give faculty visibility into students at risk and then create alerts. So we think that, again, in addition to maybe a guided learning path that we can create using some of these AI features, which will give students visibility into the timeline for graduation. As Nilopal suggested, higher education in particular has been under a lot of pressure. That pressure has accelerated, post-COVID with, reduced enrollment of students, less money coming into the university. Now we're seeing a reduction in students coming from overseas and into the universities and the loss of that income, for foreign students, which pay higher tuition fees. So the pressure economically on universities is high. So that means there's pressure to reduce the cost of managing and operating their systems. All those things can be achieved through this type of modernization effort that NBC's done. Plus, we can also look forward to innovation with the AI features and the vector capabilities of the 26ai database. So there's a lot to talk about there. Again, it's not just the total cost of ownership and the reduction based on the autonomous scaling of the database to support the application. There's so many intangibles here that you just can't calculate them all. And so we think, again, while we looked at a 5-year cost reduction of $1.5 million, we're tracking this month over the last 12 months, and we're seeing at least $8,000 a month reduction in cost for the infrastructure. We think that's going to continue to go up. Plus, if we were to calculate a lot of these other things, we think the cost of doing these type of modernizations pay for themselves exponentially.
Yeah. No, yeah, as you said, Peter, 8,000 per month. Also, I will just like to say, we have to also tell, share how much they were spending. So 8,000 reduction is on a spend of a 20 to 21K per month. Now it has come to 11 to 12K per month. So yeah, it's more. Yeah.
Significant.
Yeah.
So we'd love to, answer any questions. We don't know. We got started a little late today, and we apologize. Again, this is our inaugural Tech Byte webcast for the Northwest Oracle community. We're proud to kind of break the ice, and we promise to be on time in the future. But if we have any questions from our audience, we'd like to answer those now. And I think we may have a less of an audience today because of the late start.
Yeah, but they can always reach out to us. If not now, they can always reach out to us in our LinkedIn community as well as to our email that we have, and we'll post this link as well in our LinkedIn community, so they can respond to that as well if they have any question.
So, the only thing I want to add at the end, if it's okay, Nilopal, I don't know if we have another slide with the contact information, but if we don't, that's fine. We'll stay here. Is that, we're always looking for new volunteers. Anybody who's interested in the Pacific Northwest being involved with these TechCast series. We do have a Tech Byte associate role. Nilopal's leading up that group, but we have, a few volunteers today. Volunteering could just be presenting on your own Tech Byte topic. Volunteering could be getting more, intimately involved with the community as a volunteer, doing whatever activities you have a particular skill set to apply. Also, what we'll add is that we'd love for you to go check out our website, the Northwest spelled out OC.org. We also have a LinkedIn user group, Northwest Oracle Community. We'd love to have you go check out and subscribe to our feed. And we also have a X platform presence. So, there's many ways to stay engaged year round. And we certainly look forward to continuing to broadcast these live TechCasts and continuing to serve the community. Nilopal, great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here's a good way to stay in touch. Reach out to Nilopal and myself, and we'll be happy to jump on a line, share all of the details of how we're able to achieve this success with NBC and other customers. Again, we're proud to boast a PeopleSoft Innovation Awards for 2025, PeopleSoft Innovation Awards for 2026, Oracle Cloud Innovation Award for 2026, and many more to come. Thank you.
Thank you.